Okay, on tonight's show, you know, every show I do, I give out the classes for you to attend, but today we're going to make it a little bit different. We're going to bring it back to you now. So tonight we'll have some doctors from the Holy Tabernacle Ministry, United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors, going to break down our true identity, and show you our history and culture, and show you how we are Moors and how it relates to us today. And what we're going to do, we're going to let the brothers introduce themselves, and I'll ask a few questions, and we're going to open up the phone lines, and we're going to let it roll. So grab a pen and a piece of paper so you can take down a telephone number for what is soon going to happen. Okay, sit back, relax, and listen, and here we go. Okay, London City, the time has come now. I hope you got your pens and pieces of paper. I'm going to give out the phone number, but I'm going to leave the phone line off until after the doctors have spoken and enlightened you into who and what you are. Okay, the telephone number is 0374 231 658. That's 0374 231 658, okay? Alright. Tonight, we have the doctors from the United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors in the studio and a breakdown about Moors. And I'm going to ask the brothers to step up and introduce themselves and basically take you through the agenda of the night.
Good evening, London. This is Nanya Shamsun L. And I'm with one of my good brothers, Nanya Daniel L.
Good evening, London Town. As brother said, my name is Nanya Daniel L. We are both representatives of the United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors, also known as the Holy Tabernacle Ministries of the World. We've been invited here tonight, very kindly I must say. We've been invited here to come and share with you some insights into our nation, our organization, what we're about, also our doctrine, and hopefully try and share with you some insight into our true roots, our history, our culture, and who and what we are, and where we also come from, indigenously and also spiritually also.
For those of you who are not too familiar with us as the Holy Tabernacle Ministries or the United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors, we're just going to go through some points in a book, in a scroll called the Holy Tabernacle Family Guide, just to give you a brief overview of exactly what we're about. So the question, who are we? We are the United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors. We call ourselves Moors because of the historical record worldwide, where you'll find the Latin word morenos, which means black. but not in the sense, in the sense of supreme balancement, not to be mistaken with the word negra, commonly Negro, which is strictly the color black, not the state which God was in before he created the light, which is where we come from. The Romans used negra or Negro as far back as in the New Testament. If you look into Acts 13, verse 1, where Simon, one of Jesus' disciples, is actually being called Niger or nigger. When you look into the Greek, you get the word Niger, N-E-E-G-E-R, and they give the meaning of the word, if you look it up, as black, and it is used for the color in today's dialects, derived from the ancient Romans as Latin and Greek. Being all of history is recorded in these languages and not in Arabic or Hebrew, then whenever they made reference to our rights, what we owned, what we did as civilizers of all Europe, on all of the European coat of arms, you will find us as a race, not being called Negro, or African, or colored, or Nubians, or Afro-Americans, but rather as a Moor. The word Moor is sometimes spelled from the French Moor, M-U-U-R, both coming from the ancient Romans, Greek Moorus, spelled M-A-U-R-U-S.
Indeed. Now to continue, the Greek word for black is melas, or melor, spelled M-E-L-A-W, from which they get the word melan, okay, for melanin. So it's important that we identify with what can be found on documents, so to speak. If we are to reclaim our rights and the property and riches that belong to us, you must be found somewhere on documents. It must be legal, it must be tangible, it must be able to be proven, in other words. Now, there are millions of documents that identify us as Moors. That's M-O-R-S, Moors, not to be mistaken with the Muslims of Morocco. For Islam invaded that country in the 17th century. Now, the people there were already dark olive-toned skin and woolly-haired, or simply Moors, not to mention on this very soil, Europe and also in America, as Olmecs. We were already here, dark olive-toned, woolly-haired people, not immigrants, but indigenous. Okay, indigenous.
Now, for example, did you know, just one of the few hidden facts that you'll find we're now revealing in the last days and times as the UNNM, United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors of the Holy Tabernacle Ministries. We had a Moorish president before George Washington. They always say George Washington was the first president. This simply is not true. He became president in the year 1789 after being a general, being appointed by a Moorish president by the name of John Hanson, who was born April 3rd, 1721 and died November 15th, 1783. These are things which are commonly known. It's not something which has been made up. It's not something which is buried somewhere in any Egyptian tombs or chambers or buried underground. It is information which you can find in any of your libraries, any of your institutions of education. It's just there for you to do the research. John Hanson was a Maryland patriot during the American Revolution, and he was the first president of the new nation under the Articles of Confederation. The Articles of Confederation was a government which was a pre-government, if you wish, and it actually gave each state in America equal rights, so they all had equal say, so to speak. And because this actually caused a problem, because they were always bickering, and they were always knocking heads with each other. And so the Articles of Confederation actually became abolished. And now, the American system which they use now was actually brought in. But John Hanson, again, he was a Maryland patriot during the American Revolution. He was a member of the Maryland Assembly from 1757. Again, these are all things which, if you write down, you can go and do your own research, because we always teach. Don't believe us. Check it out for yourself. He became active in the resistance to British tax measures in the 1760s and was an early supporter of independence. Now, as a delegate to the Continental Congress, John Hanson signed the Articles of Confederation and played an important part in pursuing New York and Virginia to give up their claims to Western territory, because he was elected by Congress as the President of the United States in Congress assembled, and this was in 1781. Hanson has sometimes been called the first President of the United States. Now, I mean, according to the American Heritage Dictionary, they'll tell you, they'll tell you the meaning for the word Moor. They'll tell you it means light-skinned, straight-haired people in Morocco, because of this tying into the vine, because of this mixing in. The Arabs are descendants of Yoktan, son of Eba, who you will find in Genesis 10:25, and Eba is where they get the word Hebrew from, meaning to cross over. They then mixed in with a Caucasian named Bathsheba of Eliam, of the tribe of Gileon, of the Hethites, and again you can find this in Genesis chapter 10 verse 15.
Okay, now continuing on from that, as your original Arabs who were Hebrews from Eba, later from mixing in became what you see today as pale skin Arabs with straight hair. The original Arabs were dark olive tone skin, as we stated before, with woolly hair. Then you have what they call the Berbers. Now these are members of a northern African, primarily Muslim people, living in settled or nomadic tribes. When they say nomadic tribes, they mean tribes which wandered around from place to place. They were nomads, basically, or wanderers, okay? From the Morocco to Egypt. Now speaking any of the Afro-Asiatic languages of Berber. Berber is from Arabic barbar, where you get the word barbarian from. Now these are Caucasians who invaded, took over Morocco and all of northern Africa, coming from Asia. Now mixing in with the original Africans, thus Afro-Asiatic, or some people call Black Asiatic. Thus many Moors, meaning by race, mistakenly influenced by Islam, call themselves Asiatics. Now Asiatic is from the word Asia, an Arabic word Asia, okay, meaning Orient, which means the rising sun, or what they refer to as the land of the rising sun. Now their land begins after the Persian Gulf, on the other side of the Tigris-Euphrates, where our land ended. Now our land extended from the shores of California all the way throughout South America, the Caribbean islands, and all the islands in the South Atlantic Ocean, and extend all the way to New Mexico, and as far as the Tigris-Euphrates, which brings me back to what they call the Middle East now, which means from the Pacific through the Atlantic and all over. We're basically talking about all the known planet, okay? Now there was no division between North or South America and Africa and Arabia, and there was no need, or how should I say, there was no Red Sea, and there was no such thing as the Middle East. All of this was one landmass called Ganawa, okay, Ganawa, which is where you get things like Ghana, Gan, so on and so forth from. Later, after the continental drift, this side became Atlan, okay, or I should say the western side, the side they refer to as North and South America, became Atlan, North America. The lower part became Amexan, South America. And to the east you had Sudan, Africa, to the Persian Gulf. All of the people there were what the Latin-speaking historians recorded as Moors. This is what we are known as historically in records.
Now, the point to all this is if we don't use our name that's on the deeds of our land, but if we pick up geographic names like Nigerian or Ethiopian or Egyptian, Nuwaubian, which is quite common nowadays, Sudanese, or even use slang like, say, Afro-American or, English African or West Indians, Africans, Negroes, even if we use religious names like we call ourselves Muslims or Christians, call ourselves Rasta, then we will not be entitled to the due process of the law. You should know the amendments of the Constitution in the country that you're living in to know what you're entitled to and to know what you're not entitled to. Now, if we continue to speak about things like the Emancipation Proclamation, we'll only be talking about those of us who were kidnapped. Now, hear what I said, kidnapped. If someone is taken from their land and it's not by their will and they're brought to another land, It's not called slavery, it's called kidnap, and that internationally is against the law, okay? And they brought us over on what they then called slave ships, okay? For those of us that were already here before what's called the continental drift have property right here. Now, right is right, truth is truth. If the Prophet Noble Drew Ali pointed out a truth that all of the rest of us who are calling ourselves maybe leaders or teachers or rabbis or imams, and we say that we are sincere about the fact, we should acknowledge these things. We should acknowledge the simple fact that our rights as Moors is written within the constitution of the world, and it's there for us to declare, it's there for us to take. Then once we find out that, you know, teachers like that are right, you know, he came with that information, and it's for us to pick up on that. It's for us to look back in history, because we had many great black leaders, but we have to look at what those leaders did for us. Malcolm X used a more he used a stronger approach, and Martin Luther King used a softer approach, but yet they were still killed. Neither of those ways through a religion actually got us anywhere, whereas the Prophet Noble Drew Ali actually pointed us towards the law. And what is the point of us trying to be anti the country that we're living in? There is no way that we as a people should or would actually get up and fight against, you know, a country that we are living in, because that is something which, I mean, the Europeans throughout the whole of their history, they conquered land through violence, and we as a people, that isn't how we operated. We were a more gentle, we were a more peaceful people, and to a degree that is what led the Europeans into our lands for them to steal that. So it would be very wrong for us to then change our nature. We should do things by using intelligence. You know, it's a cliche term, the pen is mightier than the sword. So why do we feel that we have to get up all these militant organizations to actually use violence to solve a problem? What, is it not better to use your brain? So at the end of the day, I mean, again, we are Moors, and we must use this in order to inherit or reclaim that which is rightfully ours. The term Moors is, you know, is commonly attached to Morocco. Now, the flag of Morocco, as used today, okay, it's red with a green interlocking 5-pointed star, and they say that's the flag of Morocco. It's not the universal flag, however, of the Moors, which is black, red, and green. And because we have many symbols, you may add on that flag the symbol of your own choice. You can have your own clan, your own tribe, your own religious group flag, but his story, or our story, proves that this flag was introduced into Morocco in 1912. The first flag was a solid red flag, which came in with a group of people called the Alawites, spelled A-L-A-O-U-I-T-E-S. And this has nothing to do with George Washington chopping down any cherry tree concerning the Moors. That was totally Masonic, as George Washington was initiated into a Masonic order, again by one of the Moors. There were Moors who came over here from Morocco, and their flag ties in with Washington DC, etc. The Moroccan flag. This does not necessarily go for all of us. They are the indigenous peoples from here, and it can be found in documents, and they are exempt from what is known as the Jim Crow laws. Now, what you have to realize is that before Christopher Columbus came to America, we know that we were on those western shores. Now, I'm not talking about American Indians as you would see them now. I'm talking about Nubians or Nuwaubians, people who have dark skin, wide nose, thick lips, nappy hair, nappy 90s to woolly hair. And the reason for that is because prior to continental drift, all of the plates were together, okay? Now, as we spread out across the land and the plates shifted, the plates moved to what you have now as the continent of Africa, North America, and Southern America, we were actually still on those lands. So we were actually indigenous to those lands before anyone else got there.
Exactly. So just to retrack, the Alawites we were speaking of, they invaded Morocco beginning in the 17th century. Now, from the descendants of the king of Morocco, King Hassan II, son of Muhammad V, who himself was a pale Arab with straight hair and more Caucasian than original Moor, meaning he is either Berber or Arab invader. Okay, they are the ones who introduced the red flag, and then the interlocking five-pointed star, which is the the star of Islam today. That's why nowadays the original Moorish seal, which was an upright crescent, a six-pointed star, and an ankh, has now been changed with the invasion of these Berbers from Saudi Arabia, so on and so forth. They have actually changed this to a star which is a crescent which is either pointing eastward or a crescent which is pointing westward, and a five-pointed star, and they've removed the ankh. Okay. Now, as I said, now the parallels with straight hair, so on and so forth. Now they're the ones who introduced the red flag with the five-pointed star, which is called the Green Suleiman. The Green Suleiman star, introduced in 1912. Now, when Morocco was put under French rule and added to that red flag that you see today. Now the red flag with the white star and crescent, as used by the Nation of Islam and taught to be our flag, is none other than a Turkish flag. As their founder master, Fard Muhammad, that means the founder of the Nation of Islam, was a descendant from the Turks. That also is not our flag. However, Marcus Garvey, who was another one of our great leaders, as taught by Deuce Muhammad Ali, who was taught by Prophet Noble Drew Ali, who taught W.D. Fard and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. These are all links with the Nation of Islam and various Nuwaubian Masonic orders, so on and so forth. They raised the flag of the Mahdi, of the Sudan, Muhammad Ahmed al-Mahdi, born 1845 to 1885. Now the word Sudan comes from the word Aswad, from where Aswan comes from, the seat of Karnak in ancient Egypt. Now the word itself, Sudan, in English simply means black. Aswad, Saud, as in Saudi Arabia, Black Arabia. They profess to be the blacks. And being there is no Arabic word Moor, okay? Now the original Moors were called Sudanese or Nubians, but not on documents in the West. So the flag that was introduced in the West, in Europe and America by Deuce Muhammad Ali, an Egyptian Nubian, was none other than the black, the red, and the green flag with the spear of the Hadendawa tribe, sometimes called the Fuzzy Wuzzies, for their thick woolly hair, today called afros. Now, and the upright and crescent of the West, being we were a combination of many denominations and beliefs. Now, we use our original flag, the black, the red, and the green, and the holiest of all symbols, the sun as the six-pointed star, the crescent as the moon, and the ankh as the key to eternal life. And this is our flag, the Nuwaubian nation of Moors. Now, we hope that that's given you some insight as to who we are and what we represent. But obviously, as the brother said, the telephone lines will be open for phone calls and questions. Now, we are going to delve into other things. We are going to give you an insight into the origin of us as a people, as we said, physically, genetically, historically, and also legally. There are things that we do need to do as a nation, and it's time to do it. So we'll begin that now.
Just going to briefly interrupt the brothers. Starting on Monday, March the 2nd at the Albany Empire in Deptford. Okay, that's just off of Deptford High Street. Between the hours of 7 and 10, United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors Question and Answer Forum between 7 and 10. That's at the Albany Empire, 2nd of March.
Yeah, London time. This is Nanya Shamsun El again. This is something very serious. I want everyone out there to move a little closer to your speaker, and I don't want you to listen. I want you to actually start to hear what we're saying. Everything me and my good brother have just gone over for you. It may sound a little alien. It may sound, stuff that you haven't heard before. But this is actually your history. It's actually your stuff. And the importance of it is that you haven't heard it before. A lot of you may not have heard it before, and you have to ask the question, why? If all of this is here for you, okay, and it can give you rights to land, it can give you rights to practice your own culture, it can give you rights that you've never had before, you have to ask the question, why haven't you been told? Why hasn't your imam told you? No disrespect. Why hasn't your rabbi, if you are an Israelite, no disrespect, why haven't they told you that? Why hasn't your Christian minister told you that? No disrespect. Why have you not been told these things? And the reason why is because there is a spell out there. It may sound funny, but there is a spell, and that spell is being cast by primarily religion, because religion keeps us trapped in these little books. And then when you talk about slavery, they say, oh well, bondage. I'm sorry, bondage is a religious term. It has nothing to do with government or state. It cannot help us. So if we want to get land, you're going to bring the Bible to the Prime Minister and say, here what, 430 years of slavery by the Amorites. It's not going to work like that. We have to use our intelligence. Now, a lot of people say, well, why not use the Bible? It's the truth, isn't it? Well, we actually, if we are people, not only of this planet, but of the solar system and the universe, black people, Nubians throughout the world, we recognize that we're a universal people. Why do we feel we have to use one tool? If the Bible is from us, if the Quran is from us, if even the constitutions that were made up is from us, why not use what we originally put together for our own benefit? It's not about being narrow-minded in one book, in one way, in one culture. It's about being diversified. People say by any means necessary, but how many means are they prepared to use? Are they prepared to use one means? Are they prepared to use two? Or are they prepared to use any means necessary? I'll say it again, any means necessary to get the job done. It's all very well saying we're going to build a nation, but we're not talking about a religious nation here, because again, a religious nation does not give you any recognition from a government in the country that you're living in. You have to use their language, unless you think that becoming a militant organization, picking up arms, picking up guns, to a people who have nuclear weapons, to a people who have chemical weapons, to a people that will shoot you out of the sky using satellite before you get into the sky, then, you really have to rethink and replan. We are, again, I will reiterate, we are a peaceful people. We have always done things by using our brains. We didn't have to use big bulk to build the pyramids. We used our brains. You see what I'm saying? As Moors, originally, when we navigated the seas, we didn't need sails. We used the currents along the coastline, and that is how we got all over the world. The Europeans to this day are still trying to work out how we did what we did, and in this day and time, they are going to wonder how the United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors have accomplished what they have accomplished. So, again, it's important that any questions you need to ask, again, this may be new to a lot of you, any questions you need to ask, feel free, the Holy Tabernacle Ministries, United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors, we're all here to answer your questions and to get you to not an understanding, but an overstanding.
You mentioned something about rights to land, okay, in the Constitution. Could you break that down a bit further and elaborate on that?
Okay, when we speak about rights, it's a question that many people have hang-ups over, simply because we are here and we are not we're not asking for our rights. Okay, let me explain something about rights. A right is something that you have either by birth or it's a right that you earn. Somebody has the right to wages if they earn those wages. Somebody has a right to inheritance if they are born into a family and they inherit something. But what we are talking about here is something that is known planetary, universally, and in international law, something they call maritime law and land law, laws that appear, or I should say laws that pertain to the sky and the land and to the sea. This law is called inalienable rights. When they talk of inalienable rights, let's just look at that word. You have inalienable. That word there, alien. If you have an auntie who comes over from Jamaica or Ghana and comes to this country and they don't have a green card or they don't have a passport, they say that that person is an illegal alien. Yeah, an illegal alien. So something which is an inalienable right means that this is your right no matter where you are, where you live, no matter what country you're from, no matter whether you get on a plane, you go to Jamaica, you have this right. If you come from Ghana and you come to England, you have this right. It's inalienable. It cannot be classed as an alienable right. This right I'm speaking of is the right of indigenousness. If you are indigenous, you have the right of autonomy, you have the right to self-rule, you have the right to make your own law, and you have the right to have your own language, your own culture, your own land. All of these things are inalienable rights. It's in the Constitution of this country and America and the United Nations, for that matter. It's something that it governs the whole planet, okay? So these are the rights we're speaking of. Now, speaking of the Moors and these rights, okay, if you're in school, they take you back to a place in their history or their period of time that they know about, recorded history, which only goes back, well, 6,000 years to be precise. Anything before that, they tell you it's prehistory. And then they relate a man to that time, they say that that is prehistoric man, okay? So now, if they say that man started 6,000 years ago, and they'll tell you that God created man, then that man that is prehistoric man must be the God, okay? And this is what we are speaking about. We're speaking about regaining our rights as the indigenous gods of this planet, okay? Now, when you start speaking about these rights, okay, and these laws, they'll tell you about a time in this country and in Europe, they speak of the Dark Ages. This is times in Europe that they don't even know what happened. People were living in squalor. People were living, they were, you know, I don't even want to go there. It's all in your history books. You know about the Dark Ages when they didn't know how to grow food and things like the plague and everything was going all over Europe. People were dying like flies. They didn't know what was going on. They didn't know how to cook food. They didn't know how to keep it. They didn't know anything. And then they tell you about a period of time which is called the Renaissance, okay, and the Enlightenment. And what is it that caused this Renaissance or the Enlightenment? Nothing but the coming of the Moors to Europe. They tell you about these Moors came from, they tell you it's Morocco, but really it's from all over Nubia, all over that continent, all over that land. The original Moors were indigenous to Ghana, Mali, Nigeria, Uganda, Kenya, Ethiopia, Sudan. All of that land was once called Ekubaland or Ganawa or anything you want to call, but not Africa. Africa is something that it was given. That name is a title given to it by the European, and it's an Arabic word from faraka, which means to divide, to conquer, in fact, to divide and conquer. So anytime you call yourself an African, you're calling yourself something or somebody that has been conquered and divided by these people. Okay, so now you have this period of time called the Dark Ages. The Moors came to Europe and they taught the Europeans how to irrigate land, how to purify water, how to build buildings, and they came to places like England. It was the Moors that set up Oxford University, Cambridge University. They're the ones that showed them how to, put things into books and build reference libraries, so on and so on and so forth. We were the ones that showed them architecture, everything, you name it. And you can take this back to Roman periods of time and pre-Roman times. And one thing, when you go to do your research, because I know you will, because listening to the United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors, you will remember that you don't believe anything, you go and check it out. So when you go and check out and do your research, I want you to check and you'll realize that the Moors were in Europe thousands of years ago. They'll tell you about a certain slave trade, okay? Now, they won't tell you that there were actually 3 slave trades, at least the 14th, the 15th, and the 16th century. But what I'm talking about is pre-slave trade. Forget the slave trade. That's not about you. That's about a group of Europeans who are insecure and felt they need to kidnap people to displace them in order to cut them off from their roots so they don't know who and what they are. That's what that's about. What I'm talking about now is your cream history, whereby if you go back even 4,000 BC, they'll tell you about the times that these Nubians, these Moors, were in Europe. We're the original ones that occupied places like England and Scotland and Ireland and Wales and places like France and Portugal and all of these places, which is why even when you go to a place like France, they can dig up skeletons of somebody 4.5 million years old and tell you that person had to be Nubian. You know, explain that. There are people, we are indigenous to the planet. Okay, so we can talk for hours, but we like to be interactive. We like to have questions. So please, call.
All right. Remember, grab a pen and a piece of paper. It's all about. explain how that process works. You know, for us being Moors and then having these rights to these lands, and what land and how much.
Okay, it's a very common question. Now, I briefly touched on it. We're talking about rights here that are inalienable. They're yours by the fact that you are a human being. Okay. Now, when these nations were set up, okay, you have a country like Europe. Okay, you have a continent like Europe. You know, England is not really part of the European continent. It's actually detached by water, and a continent is something that's surrounded by all sides by water. So technically, Europe is not even a continent. But that's not what I'm talking about. What happened was, as I said, this land was occupied originally by the indigenous people, i.e. the Moors. This is what they're called legally, or for want of a better word, the black people. Okay, we originally occupied this land. Now, what happened was, when the Europeans actually came here, or when they decided that they want to occupy some of this land, and they realized, you see, at one point, we were actually seen as deities. We were seen as gods, which is why they labeled us Moors. The brother touched on it slightly. You have a word in Spanish, which is negra, or negro. That is something that they use to pertain to a certain type of black, a black that is ignorant, does not know who and what they are, and is basically more animalistic by nature, okay? That is a word they use. It's a derogatory term. That simply pertaining to a color and a particular type of people, negra. And it goes back to the word necra, which means dead. So when they describe you as a Negro, they're really saying that you're a dead Moor. The word Moor is pertaining to a state, and that state is blackness. You see, they overstood because we taught them that blackness was a state of supreme balance. When you condense all light into one, you actually get blackness. And even they teach you in the Bible that they plagiarize from our original scriptures that God was in a state of blackness when he created the light. He said, let there be light. He was in a state of darkness, a supreme balanced state. It was the light that brought the confusion. So now, you have a state whereby the Europeans were actually leased land. They were given land. We as the Moors said, okay, you want to live here? Okay, well, we'll let you occupy this land, and we'll lease this land to you, and you won't even have to pay for it. We'll lease this land to you, and we'll sign it by deed and contract, okay? And you can occupy this land for X, Y, Z hundred of years. You can occupy this land for X, Y, Z hundred of years, and you can have it on the basis that you live by certain laws. So what happened was, we actually gave them a constitution, which is why the constitution of this country is actually an oral constitution. It's not something that is written down, which is why they have to make statutes and amendments and write them down so that they can have day-to-day laws. But the actual constitution is oral. It was given to them by us. Now, these deeds do exist. You can go and check them out. You can go to the Public Records Office. You can go to the National Reference Library, and you can request to see these deeds and documents. They do exist, and it tells you that certain lands were given to certain people by way of, how can I say, basically negotiation and deals that were struck with our leaders. This takes you back to somebody who they referred to as the Sultan of Asia. Now, at one time, all of the landmass on the planet was known as Asia. It was all known as Asia, and the Sultan of Asia, in that sense, ruled the planet. He was basically the Sultan of the planet. So when they made these deals, or when they made these agreements with these people, they put them down on deed. So there is documents there that say that, okay, this land really belongs to the Moors. We only are borrowers of the land. Now in England, you have things like Scotland, England and Wales, or what they call the United Kingdom, okay? And that tells you, you have places called Moorgate, yeah, Dartmoor, the Yorkshire Moors, and you have things like McTavish, McDougall, yeah, and all of these names. That Mc, that MC actually stands for Moorish clan. So these areas were actually occupied by certain tribes of Nuwaubian Moor. We were indigenous to this land. Now when you go and do your research, research the Black Moors, research McDougall, research McTavish, and you will see that all the original coats of arms of this country were Nubian coats of arms. When you look into, for example, you go to Buckingham Palace and you see they have these shields, and they tell you that this shield represents a certain family that was here for a certain amount of time, and they mixed with another family like the Yorks and the Lancasters. Those Yorks actually gained that name from the Moors. The Yorkshire Moors are actually a group of people. They tell you that the Moors is actually a geographical term pertaining to a certain type of land, but it's not true. The land is the Shire, which is where they get a type of horse that the Moors bred, and they called it a Shire horse. That's the type of horse that they use to actually, you know, irrigate the land, and they drag things, and it's got all the hairy things at the bottom of its legs. They are Shire horses that were bred by the Moors, and they will tell you that the Moors are the best breeders of horses. Even up to now, the Saudi Arabians go to the Moors to breed horses, and the Saudi Arabians use their money in their racehorses and win millions of money. So these are certain things. So the Shires are a certain type of land. The York is the name of that Moorish family, and the Moors are the people. So the Yorkshire Moors are us. Yeah, the Shires is where we dwelt. York was our name, and the Moors is our nationality. Okay, that's just one example. That's why even up to now, when you want to buy a house, you have to get a mortgage. They don't call it a mortgage for nothing. It's all gauged by the Moors. The Constitution is all from us. So now, when we, okay, it's like this. If you have a great-great-great-great-great-grandfather that owned a certain type of land, a certain amount of land, and over periods of time, you know, your family moves away to another country and people come and occupy that land. When you come back hundreds of years later, you can actually gain the land. You can say, well, that's really my grandfather's land. I don't care who you bought it from, who you got a mortgage of, what's happened, that's my grandfather's land. But you can't just come and say that's my grandfather's land. You've got to prove that you are the great-great-great-great-grandson of who and who and who, which is where the title Moor comes in. In order for us to gain back these lands, we must tie ourselves back into our original title, which they use legally, which is Moor. As long as you call yourself a Nigerian, as the brother says, a Jamaican, a Ghanaian, they love that. Because now you're affiliating yourself with, after these periods of time, they went back and conquered some of these Moorish lands, and then they changed the names. They said, okay, we'll call these guys here Ghanaians, and we'll give them Christianity. So if and when the time comes for these deeds to run up, they won't know who they are. They won't be able to prove that they're Moors, and they won't get the land. This is what's happened. Now you've got to remember who and what you are and say, okay, here's my birth certificate, here's my passport, and I am the great-great-great-great-grandson of those Moors, so I'm gaining the land. Now what's happened with everybody that's bought a mortgage in this country, you've bought land from somebody who doesn't own the land. In fact, really, you've bought land from yourself. That's what's really happened. Yeah? And there's a lot of religious things that have gone into this. There's a lot of Masonic secret sects and orders that have gone into this, and it's a big story, but that is basically it. Now, because of this, because their constitution was actually given to them by us, when they went to what they call the New World, or America, North and South America, and a lot of you out there might be thinking why we are, you know, not so much dwelling on America, but concentrating on this America, is because there is something in existence, something that has been going on for a long time, and that thing is referred to as the New World Order. Now, that New World Order is basically this: a new form of religion, a new form of money, and a new form of law. All of this is actually being done by what they call the United Nations. So when you actually think about it, we only have one government on this planet. That is the United Nations, because all the nations of the planet are actually part of this United Nations. They all have their delegates that are all appointed by these individual nations, that are all elected by the individual citizens of those nations. So we only really have one government, which is why a country like America, that has a large influence in the UN, when something happens on the other side of the world, America can say, okay, let's get together and do that, like in the case of Iraq. And all of a sudden the whole world is combined against Iraq. It's because we only have one government. Now, what we are doing is doing what we have to do legally and confront that government and say, okay, well, according to the laws of the land or the laws of the planet, we are indigenous to this land. We are demanding our land. We're not requesting it. You know, some people say, okay, what makes you think that after all of these years the white man's just going to go and give you blah, 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 blah. No, it's not like that. We're not begging the white man for anything. It's not like that. We're taking. Yeah, we're taking. We're talking about rights here that transcend. It's not about race even. You know, you'd be surprised that a lot of these countries that, you know, blacks think are racist. It's not about race. It's about need to know. If you don't know the land is yours, don't think they're going to give it to you. But if you know, and you know your rights, and you can prove who and what you are, believe me, know for a fact that these things operate in that way. That's how they work.
So what is the process of going back to reclaim our heritage, basically? Could you break that down? What we have to go through, what we have to do to retrace ourselves back into our Moorish descendancy?
Okay, just to go into that, really, it's not something that needs to be done, it's something that is being done. Everyone, again, there's a lot of organizations out there saying we have to build a nation. Now, let's look at this for a second. Okay, a nation needs a flag. A nation needs a language. A nation needs their own culture. And a nation needs their own land. Now, the last time I looked, the United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors had their own language. And it's called Nuwaubic. We have our own flag. We have two flags, in fact. We have our national flag, and we have our sacred flag. We also have our own land, okay? And this is called Wani, the Golden City, which is in Georgia, okay? Now, we also have our own culture, which we call Nuwapo, okay? Now, these are the things any nation needs to be called a nation. You cannot be a nation and say, well, we're Christians, because that is a religious nation. You cannot say you're a nation and say, well, we're Muslims, because that is a religious nation.
Okay, you mentioned something about the Golden City in Georgia. Could you break that down further for the public?
Yeah. What's happened is it was Kadesh, the holy city, or Wahani, the golden city, was founded by Naya Malachi Zadok York El, who is the Supreme Grand Master. We have our own pyramids, there's malls being built there, there's restaurants being built there, there's clubs being built there. We have everything that we need on that land in order for us to really start to build a nation. Not lip service, not thinking about it, not hoping about it, not believing about it, but knowing it. Seeing is knowing. Seeing is not believing. Hearing is believing. Seeing is knowing. Seeing is not believing. Seeing is knowing. And for those who have seen Wahani, for those who have picked up the papers being sold by the brothers and sisters of the United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors, you have seen what has been done. It's not something that we have to it's not something that we have to sit around a table in someone's house and discuss, well, how are we going to do this? Because it's something that our master teacher has already done for us. Our master teacher is always steps ahead of us, and we oftentimes have to keep catching up with him. He's put it in place for us, and all we need to do is build on what is already there. And at the end of the day, the reason why that has been set up in America is because that is the only country on this planet that will allow us to do what we want to do. Can you imagine driving up the M25 and seeing a pyramid on land? I don't think so. This country would not allow it. In America, however, if you have the finance and you have the land, you can do what you want to do. According to their law, they cannot touch you. But over here, it's far too difficult. It's not really, and really and truly, the whole conditions of this whole area, it's not conducive for us as a people.
Okay, could you explain also, like, the land? Has it bought the land, or, how is it the land, like our land?
Okay. Yes, he did buy the land. The land is our land. This was prior to the constitution of the United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors being ratified by Geneva. Now, our empress, Verdicea, okay, of the Washita Nation, she, using these same laws, has reclaimed 68,883 acres of land from the American government. She doesn't pay taxes. She has her own license plates. You see what I'm saying? All of this, and she's totally independent. And don't think it's a race thing, because it's not. You don't have to be black or Nubian to be a part of this. All it is just about law.
now London City. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to open up the phone line. So if you'd like to ask the brothers any question, the telephone number in the studio is 0374 231 658. That's 0374 231 658. If nobody don't call in, I'm going to keep asking the brothers questions, and we're going to continue to give you some more information. So you mentioned, who was the Empress? What her name was, and how was she related? How was she related? Hang on, we're going to take this lively. Yeah, go ahead, caller. You're live on Genesis.
Hello?
Yes, brother.
Yeah. They call me Style, still. But it's like, you see this land that you're talking about, blood, yeah? So, how me, as a young 18-year-old youth, how am I supposed to directly go and claim?
Sorry, bruv, could you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, what I was saying, see about the law. Right now, me as an 18-year-old youth, right, how am I supposed to directly go and claim this land?
Okay, that's a very good question, and it's something that we as the UNNM, or the United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors, are addressing. Now, first, you say your name was Styley, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, now, it's like this. It's not a matter of your age, and it's not a matter, you've got to forget everything that you've been taught about you have been taught that you are limited, bro. You are not. There is nothing that you are incapable of doing. And you must remember that you are not alone in this venture. Okay? You're not alone in it. Now, as far as Kadesh, Wani, being in Atlanta, Georgia, it's a place. You know, if you want to get to Atlanta, Georgia, you get on a plane and you go there. I don't mean to sound, condescending. It's nothing really, it's not a spooky thing. We are not a religious organization. We are an organization that is based on fact, truth, right knowledge, sound right reasoning. Our culture is Nuwaubian. So in order for you to go to Kadesh, all you've got to do is do what you have to do to get there. When we want to go to Kadesh, we work, we get money, we buy a ticket, and we go there. When it comes to claiming of land, which was like the second part of your question, it is about knowing your culture. It is about knowing the laws. It is about that.
Where can I go? Sorry, but where can I go to get this knowledge about my culture?
You're right here now. You're right here now. The United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors, that is what we're about. We are about realigning our people with their original indigenous way of life. You see, we're not talking about building or getting land to live like they do. We have our own culture. We have our own way of life. We are called Nuwaubians. Our culture is called Nuwaubian. Okay? Our language is Nuwaubic. Nuwaubic is a language that the scientists of today refer to as cuneiform. Write that word down. C-U-N-E-I-F-O-R-M, cuneiform.
Brother, 1 minute, yeah?
No,
sorry,
no problem.
Right, I'm going to stay locked in for about an hour and a half. How long are you going to be there?
We're here.
You're going to be here all night, yeah? I'm going to fling in the tape right now, right? And I'm going to take everything that you say, but it's like, because she said the call's expensive.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to tape it and then do what I've got to do, like, to get in with this, you get me?
Yeah, no problem. What we'll try and do is we'll try and break down what we can for you, and I hope we, break down your question, okay?
If there's anything that I don't understand, I'll just phone.
No problem. Do that. It's good to hear from you, bro.
Yeah, but if you could just show me, like, I can contact you, man, so we can see you, you know what I mean? Because I don't know what I've got to know.
Okay, now, we have classes all over London.
Yeah.
Okay? We are actually in Brixton, a Eurolink Centre, okay? We also have a store under the recreation ground, near the market and the arches. We have a store there. You can go there and speak to the brothers there. They can break down a lot of things and they can direct you to the classes. If you've got any brethren all over London, we have classes all over. We're in North London, in Highbury. We're in West London, in Willesden. We're in Shepherd's Bush. We're in Aldgate. We're all over the place. Yeah, and you go down to the store in Brixton and you can buy these books. You can get a copy of our Constitution, that breaks down everything we were speaking about, the laws of indigenous people and the rights of indigenous people, okay? And as the brother said, it's not a race thing. We are not a racist organization. We are about truth. So this is why a lot of other black organizations don't like us, because we, for example, we will tell you the truth about lots of different types of white people. Caucasians only refer to, no problem.
You have to put the phone down and just listen.
Yeah, of course.
I wish they come there right for
Yeah. So,
hello?
Yeah, you turn on your radio a bit, bruv. Yeah. Well, what's your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, it's calling from East London.
Okay, bruv. Okay, this is the Regeneration Show. This is a previous recording of my show done on the 4th of February. Okay, had two brothers from the Housing of Fraternity, United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors, come in the studio and just basically set the record straight on who and what we are and what everything really means in our lives as indigenous people. Now, you know, I mean, a lot of the information I heard in that night was for the first time, and I was thinking, whoa, you know, just like you're, you know, thinking now, you know, it's like, how comes we didn't know this before? And I'd like to know how comes we did not know this before. And it, OG, bro. And like, I just want you to listen to this next person that phones up. He's just heard that information, okay, like you have. There ain't no argument. It ain't got nothing to do with no God, religion, nothing. Just your rights as indigenous beings on the planet Earth. Once were regarded as deities. We're getting reinstated and realigned. And now listen to this, brother. Okay, OG.
Okay, London Town, Black Spiritual Metaphysical Regeneration Show. We're rolling with a Minister Rebels True Light show session where you had some brothers in from the Holy Tabernacle Ministry basically breaking down basically the Moors, yeah? Okay, and a lot of other things London Town. Anyway, London Town, like I said, yeah, we're gonna let the tape run for a little while longer. We're gonna open the live link basically London Town, yeah? And the live link number is 0956271782 at 0956271782. And London Town, man, seriously, wow, I'm saying to myself, wowee. You see what I'm saying, London Town? Okay, like, minister's gonna just chop in and, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was saying to you, bro. You know, I'm glad you listened to the tape now. Now, this was at the stage, and I'm thinking, whoa, we really need to know this as people, regardless of what religion we're in or anything. This ain't got nothing to do with that nonsense, you know, because that's taking you away from this, okay? Now, listen to this brother. Now, London City, anybody know who this brother is? Does anybody know who this person is? Listen to this. Listen to this person, man. Let's have a laugh.
Yeah, my name is calling from East London.
Okay, bruv. And your question is?
My question is, where can I find out more about John Hanson?
Sorry, repeat your question, bruv.
Yeah, my name's Curtis. I'm just finding out, where can I find out more about John Hanson?
Okay, the brother's going to address your question.
okay, the easiest way to find out about John Hanson nowadays would really be to go to your library or to go to the internet, okay? If you go to the internet, you can punch in Encyclopedia Britannica and hit enter on your search engine, and it will show you a breakdown, everything about John Hanson, when he was born, where he resided, and when he was elected President of United States in Congress. We are speaking about the original states. Originally, United States was actually 13 states.
Okay, London Town, we've got a live link. We're going to take this live link. Sorry about that, yeah? Okay, hello, Genesis Radio. Okay, they don't want to go live. They don't want to go live. Okay, sorry about London Town. Chewy just got a call and said, yeah, let's take the call. We're going to continue rolling the tape here. Don't forget, London Town, if you want a phone install, yeah, in a little while, just give us another, how long, Minister, the tape? Another half an hour, London Town. That's plenty of time to do, yeah? Another half hour, yeah, basically, yeah, and you can phone in with your views of what you believe or what you believe or what you know for facts or whatever. Yeah, okay, and tell us what your vibes on the tapes, what you're picking up, yeah? Okay, London Town, the live link number is 0956271782, yeah? If you want to get from the live link, Minister.
Alternatively, if you'd like to speak to us off the air, as that caller did, all right, you can call us on, you got a pen and you're ready, 0374 231 658. That's 0374 231-658. It's the same number getting read out on the tape, okay?
Yeah,
But
I'm trying to penetrate this voice, you know, Minister, believe.
okay, you know, the person's a snake, man. That's all I'm telling you. But listen anyway. After all of that, like, I mean, that's some divine information. That had me like, whoa, I didn't know that. I did not know. And if you knew that out there and you weren't talking it, you're a concealer of the truth. That's all I've got to say. But if you didn't know that, that's like, yeah, nothing to do with nothing. Simple, plain, liberating information. But here we go. Listen to a fool.
The whole thing was called Virginia, just one state, the state of Virginia, until they actually came to a point of recognition whereby they divided it into 13 states. And originally they had what they call a congressional flag, which is the red flag, red background with a blue X on it with 13 stars going diagonally on the flag. Okay? Now, John Hanson was the president of the United States in Congress. He was the first president of the United States. So going to your internet would be a very quick, easy way to find out about him. Going to the library, you can research more. Now, you know, just like the brother said.
Audrey, what books you got in the library? Well, what books they got in the library?
Okay, there are books you can go and research by a man called Ivan Van Sertima. Okay, he's actually an author and an editor.
Ivan Van Sertima.
Ivan Van Sertima. Okay, and also there is a book that will break down all of this for you, and it's called Set the Record Straight. Okay, that's authored by Naya Malachi Zadok York L, who is the chief and grand master of the Nuwaubian nation of Moors. That is the #1 book.
I want to get like cross-reference on this.
Of course, that's why I'm taking you to Ivan Van Sertima.
You're giving me the Nuwaubi case. I've heard that, I've acknowledged it. I just want to check it out, cross-reference it, because you say that, you said it's like common knowledge.
Yeah, that's right, it is common knowledge, yeah?
Alright, so I want to check that out. Right, another thing I want to ask you, because of the phone bill and all that, right, you said about Ghana being called by the white man. Right? Is that so?
Okay, what I actually said, yeah, is that the title Ghana and Ghanaian, because I'm Ghanaian, I was born in Ghana, okay?
Alright.
The title Ghana and Ghanaian is one of our tribal names, yeah?
Alright.
When we start talking about rights, yeah, on this planet, Ghana is not something that is recognized. Even though the head of the United Nations right now is Kofi Annan, a Ghanaian, Ghana is still not recognized. There is no nation, yeah, indigenous people called Ghanaians, yeah.
Alright, but tell me something. Recognizably, is there an indigenous nation called Nuwaubi?
Yes.
Yeah, recognized by the United Nations?
Yes. We have a constitution that is ratified and recognized by Geneva, which is what we said. And we are
but isn't there already a people called Africans?
Now, first of all, Africa is a word, it's a title, it's faraka, it means to divide. If there are people called...
Hold on, mate,
Yeah.
right? You're telling me that from your Western intelligence, or what you learned from the Westerns, right? I'm a Westerner as well, right? But, like, from what I've gained from, like, knowledge of my own, like, I get to know that, like, Africa, or Africania, right, if you look into the Twi language of the Ghanaian people, right, which is like the Akan language of the Akan people, right, then you get to see that Afri means coming from, and Kenya means the light, right, so they've got Africania, or Africania, which means coming from the light, which is just like to say like Bob or Bobo, right, you would find that Bobo in Yoruba might mean something different, like to Bobo in Swahili, and it might mean something different to like Bob or Bobo in English.
Okay, you want to know
understand? So like Africa could have a meaning in European language, and it could, but it's got also African meanings as well, because it's like it's a word, isn't it?
Okay, you're right. You are right, but what I'm going to do is point you to the direction that you're slightly mistaken. You are right about the Twi dialect. Okay, in Ghana you have the Ashanti, you have the Twi, you have the Ga, you have the Fanti, you have the Ewe, so on and so on and so forth, okay? These go and take you back to the Orishi. At one time, all of North Africa, Western Africa, so on and so forth, was all down to Yoruba land. where you had the Orishi, you had Oduduwa, Ogun, Obata Allah. Right, so on and so forth.
that's
so
why
hold
the
on,
person who originated Ghana came originally
question.
from Europe or from Nigeria, did he?
Let me answer your question.
All right,
the word Africa is from the Arabic root.
Hold on, mate. That's by your understanding of the word. But what I'm saying, we also have Africa or African.
No, look, no.
The tree of the Akan people, right, which means coming from the light. So
please,
I can follow your way, or I can follow the other way. It depends. I mean, at the end of the day, right, weren't we all called something by other people?
Okay.
I mean, who called you your name? It was your mum and your dad, or other people, innit? And everybody is named by somebody else. At the end of the day.
Okay, bro, I understand what you're saying, but please, one thing I will tell you is that if you want to know what's going on, just let somebody answer your question.
Go on, bro.
Now, to go back to the point I was trying to make is that when they actually called this land Africa, it already had a name. The people that occupied that land, the indigenous people of that land, had a name for the continent.
What was the name?
That name was Ganawa.
Ganawa?
Was Ganawa.
So where did Alkebulan come from?
Bear with me. Where did what?
Alkebulan.
Alkebulan is...
No, not Alkebulan. Alkebulan.
Okay.
He's deep, isn't he? Come on now. Come on, this brother's really deep. Alkebulan. Alright, just... If anybody knows this character out there in London town, give us a call in the studio. 0374 231 658. That's 0374 231 658. Or if you're listening, Curtis yourself, you can give us a bell, you know. Phone in, you know. Let's hear from you, all right? But we're going to continue, all right? Listen to him. He's really deep.
What you're saying, but please, one thing I will tell you is that if you want to know what's going on, just let somebody answer your question.
Go on, bro.
Now, to go back to the point I was trying to make is that when they actually called this land Africa, it already had a name. The people that occupied that land, the indigenous people of that land, had a name for the continent.
What was the name?
That name was Ganawa.
Ganawa?
Was Ganawa.
So where did Alkebulan come from?
Bear with me. Where did what?
Alkebulan.
Alkebulan is...
No, not Alkebulan. Alkebulan.
Okay. Now, we're talking about pronunciation here, but you see, Alkebulan is just another dialect, another people. We had tribal dialects in Africa.
Yeah, so that means that there were several names for the land then.
Yeah, you
can't just give me one name, then you might as well give me a million names, because there's a million languages in Africa.
Bear with me. You're right. You are right. There were several names used by the several tribes that were in that land. But you know the continent as Africa, yes?
Well, I know it as Africa, I know it as I, and I know it as Alkebulan. Also, there was a thing called Kemet, or that might have been a certain region, and even Nubia is a thing. But I know, the continent to be called Alkebulan and Kemet, or Ethiopia and now Africa, you know what I mean? But even the word Africa, like I said to you, is debatable, just like the other word or any name.
Okay, you know what, bro? You've made a lot of points, but now just let me make my point.
All right,
so that the word Africa is debatable because you can take it back to an Akan dialect, so on and so forth, where it has a meaning. That's true. But we're not talking about that. What we're talking about is the continent, by law, is known as Africa. I'm not talking about the dialect of the Akan people. And I'm saying that when they called that continent Africa, they actually gave it that name when they actually went there to conquer the land during the slave trade. When they met the people of Zanzibar and they produced a language called Swahili, they came up with that land, Africa, pertaining to the land that they actually conquered and divided. Okay? That's right. That's what we're talking about. Now,
just like British were called Britons, right? People who came and found them, right? And they know that they have an ancient name.
Listen.
No, actually,
I mean, have even Gaelic names.
Yeah, but
you said Nuwaubian in this land and this.
Yeah, that's right.
But what I'm trying to say, really, right? Does it really matter, like the ancient name, or I mean, like when you're talking about Georgia, right? And my friend phones up from South London somewhere in your old age, and he claimed land in Georgia. I mean, wouldn't it be easier to go and claim Shashamani in Ethiopia? I mean, I'm not a Rasta or nothing, right? But I mean, Shashamani was there long before anybody from America, like Dr. York or anybody else, or any land in Georgia, His Imperial Majesty Selassie gave the land of Shashmani, right, for like all Africans in the West who wish to touch. And that was done in like 1930s, right? And that was like 500 hectares of land.
Okay, now this is what we're talking about. You see, we're not talking about emotional attachments or...
No, I'm not talking about an emotional attachment. Like I said to you, my brethren, I'm not a Rastafarian.
I never said
right?
you were.
I'm only sticking up for one point. You're talking of land in Georgia.
I never said
and
you
I'm
were.
saying that, like, brethren in South London, well, you know what I'm saying anyway.
Okay, now, if you think I know what you're saying, let me, you know, come back and make some points to you. And we're not talking about emotional attachments here. We're talking about what we as a people need to do in order to regain our nation, okay? To do that, we've got to forget any kind of emotional or, you know, even religious attachment. We've just got to deal with the facts. Now, if we as the United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors went to Ethiopia or Sudan or any one of those African nations to do what we were doing, we'd be lined up and shot. Because, in those countries, their countries are solely based on religion, and they are solely based on certain practices that they actually have today.
I think you're very wrong, because there's Rastafarians in Ethiopia, there's Muslims,
you think
Jews,
I'm wrong.
Right, and nobody's been lined up and shot. I'm sure you can go there as a Nuwabi, and if you want to acquire land and do what you want to do, from your current government taxes, if they've acquired government land, acquired in any other way, they're paying some form of land rates. Are they not paying any form of rates?
You know what, I'm really sorry, bro, but the phone, I didn't really hear your question. I didn't really hear it.
Alright, what I'm definitely saying, our statement I'm saying, is very high. The white man, or the European, or the Caucasian, or whichever name we want to call him, because there's names for him as well, isn't there? Right, whatever name we want to call him, right, when he seeks for strength and power, where does he go? I mean, when he wants to convert himself, I mean, go forward, like convert himself from, like, lower grade to higher grade, like, excel, turbo power, like, move from atomic power to nuclear power, he doesn't go to Georgia, does he? He goes to Africa, right, because he's only in Africa where they've got the amounts of uranium and plutonium, enough to even power nuclear power. So, I mean, when we're all going to where...
You're wrong, bro. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're totally spooked out.
I mean, the white man, when he wants strength and power, he goes to Africa.
No, yeah, but you see, the white man has to go to Africa because he's not an African. He
But
doesn't
that's regardless. I mean,
no, hold on.
You're talking about going to Georgia.
You've made a lot of points, yeah? You've made a lot of points, but you see, we are indigenous to this planet. Really, we could go to China. It wouldn't make any difference.
I understand.
No. You've made a lot of things, and a lot of them don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. We are indigenous to this planet. I could go to Greenland.
So let's stay here then, and do it for me. I mean, we want to
hold on.
I mean, the African Americans
Hold on a minute.
to deal with Georgia, and let the African British deal with over here.
Brother, pause a minute. Because like, I hear where you're coming from, because you're asking a lot of questions, and when the brothers then break it down, you interrupt and come with something else. Let the brothers then break it down properly. Just sit back, relax, and listen. And if you ask the question, let them finish, and then say what you're saying. Because then we do with things point for point. It's not a problem.
I'm going to come off the line, right, and let them talk. I might even call later. Is that all right?
Yeah, man, call back. You know what I mean? But let's deal with it point for point. Be fair. Answer the question and let the brothers then answer. And don't say, yeah, all right then, when they're dealing with your point. Yeah, man.
All right,
that's true, man. Peace.
Cheers.
All right, telephone number in the studio, 0374 231 658. That's 03. Does anybody know that person? Come on now. Come on. Somebody must know that person, man. Right, but listen. I know who he is. Somebody must know who that dumb nigga was, man. I know he is. Drive, you know who that brother was? Curtis in East London. If you're out there, like, phone in, man. Let's have it up again, man. Come on, man. 0374 231 658. Buff Daddy Coolio, you know who it was? Daddy Coolio, you know how? Phone in on my brother. All right. I'm going to give you a little rerun again, you know, so listen to the voice. Good. Coming like a snake. Coming like... Here we go.
He goes to...
Man has to go to Africa because he's not an African.
Yeah,
he
but
doesn't
that's
have-
regardless.
he
I
doesn't-
mean,
no, hold on.
You're
You don't-
talking
no,
about
hold on.
going to Georgia.
You've made a lot of points, yeah? You've made a lot of points, but you see, we are indigenous to this planet. Really, we could go to China, it wouldn't make any difference.
Yeah, I understand
No,
that.
hold
I
on,
know
bro.
we're from-
You've
we're
made
well
a lot
south.
of things,
And
and a
we're
lot
the
of
mothers
them
and
don't
fathers
make
of the
sense.
nation.
It doesn't make sense. We are indigenous to this planet. I could go to Greenland
So
and
let's
be
stay here
indigenous.
then. And for me, I mean, we
Hold on, hold on.
I mean, the African
Hold on a
Americans
minute, hold on a
anything
minute.
to do with Georgia.
Hold on a minute,
And let
bruv.
African British deal with over
My
here.
brother, pause a minute. Because
Oh, what?
like, I hear where you're coming from, because you're asking a lot of questions, and when the brothers then break it down, you interrupt and come with something else. Let
Oh,
the
I'm
brothers
sorry.
then break it down properly. Just sit back, relax, and listen. And if you ask the question, let them finish, and then say what you're saying. Because then we do with things point for point. It's not a
Alright,
problem.
I'm going to come off the line, right, and let them talk. I might even call later. Is that
Yeah,
alright?
man, call back, you know what I mean? But let's deal with it point for point. Be fair. Answer the
Alright,
question and let
bro.
the brothers then answer. And don't say, yeah, all right then, when they're
Alright,
when
man.
they're
Start
dealing
with
with your
respect and
point.
honour, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Alright, man.
That's true, man. Peace.
Cheers.
All right, telephone number in the studio 0374 231 658. That's 0374 231 658. Gets you live across Genesis 91.6. Okay, brothers. If you like to, you know, when the brother was saying like taking it back to Africa and what have you, can you explain that a bit more?
Okay, as they say, the old cliche, you have to know where you're coming from to know where you're going at. Okay, you have to know your past to know your present and your future. Okay, now what we have to really get out of our minds is that the only place, the only worthy place on the planet is Africa. Now think about this for a minute. If the only worthy place on the planet was Africa, why did the Europeans go to America? What for? Why did they go there if the land was useless? Now, and what you have to realize is that we were there in America. Again, I don't mean American Indians. I'm talking about people who look just like what we would term Africans. Were they indigenous to the Americas?
Okay, cool. What's your question? You're live across on Genesis. Go ahead.
I've been listening to the talk show, yeah, and the prof was laying down some really important facts. I'd like to know, I mean, the facts that he's got, yeah, who else knows this in this society? Is it white people in general, white people at the top, or any particular church that also knows these facts that he's preaching?
Okay, there are quite a few people who know that that this information is out there. The majority of them are not religious. That is really the bottom line. Because again, religion, for the most part, not entirely, but for the most part, prevents people from going into other areas. They just really stick to their holy book, so to speak. Okay. Now there are many other authors, okay, which confirm what our teacher's saying. Now our teacher has written a book called Let's Set the Record Straight, one of the many books dealing with us as Moors. Okay. Now at the back of that book, he gives reference points for, like the caller said earlier, to cross-reference. Now you can cross-reference by looking at.
Okay, London Town. We've got a live link. I'm going to take this live link here. All right. Hello, Genesis Radio. Hello, Genesis Radio. Hello, Genesis Radio. Okay. Lorraine. Okay. All right. We're going to continue running the tape here. So what minutes should we just go into a jingle and just come back and just take some live links? Or just make the tape run some more? Is that to you? What do you reckon? We're going to run the tape a little bit more, London Town, yeah, and then what we're going to do, in about 10 minutes, we're going to go live link, yeah? All right.
African presence in early America and African presence in early Europe, also by Ivan Van Sertima. Nature Has No Color by J.A. Rogers. So I'm saying, The Return of the Ancient Ones by Empress Verdicea. You have all of these books, and they again confirm what the master teacher is actually giving to us in this day and time. The difference is that our master teacher is doing something about it, and that is what is important. It's not that difficult to actually get hold of the information, but to then do something about it is the next step. With all due respect to all of our great leaders in the past, they're not with us anymore, so they can't guide us. We need someone who is living, walking, breathing on the planet right now, who can advise us and who can take us to where we need to go. We can't, you know, it's too late for us to go back on rhetoric from a leader who has passed away. We can't, you know, we are a living, growing nation now. You see what I'm saying? We are alive, and we need someone alive to lead us. Okay. Now, again, going back to my other point, we do, you know, we have to get out of this thing where Africa is the only place for us. Yeah. Like my brother said earlier, we are indigenous to the planet, so it doesn't matter where we go, and that is what we all have to get into our heads. We were all over the planet Earth. We belong here. This is our stuff. You see what I'm saying? There's no point, you know, again, I'd like someone to answer the question: why did the Europeans go to America if there's nothing there? You know, I'd really like someone to, you know, to come to give me some feedback on that, because so far no one has been able to. It's just really a perfect spell, because the European tells you you all came from Africa, when we didn't just come from Africa. We were again in Upper America, called Atlant, in Lower America, which we called Amexim. Those were the lands that we actually inhabited and that we belonged. There aren't just pyramids in Egypt. There are pyramids right slap bang in the middle of America. There's more pyramids in China than there are in Egypt. But you don't know that because it's not broadcast on the 10 o'clock news. It's not put on the front page of the Sun. You see what I'm saying? There are pyramids in South America, but they just call it temples. They fool you and they say, oh, it's the temples of the Aztecs, but they're pyramids. In America, they say, oh, they're mounds, but no, they're pyramids. Okay, and this, you know, a lot of the rituals, a lot of the symbolism, a lot of the culture, even the language, a lot of those things, they are the same. The oldest architecture that is found in America are known as Olmec heads. And if you look at an Olmec head, it is a black man, it is a Nubian, it is a Nuwaubian, and the European insults us by saying that these features were exaggerated. Of course he's going to say that, because he doesn't want to admit that we were there first. And so, London Town, we need to get this into our heads.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, for me, born and bred in London Town, and the knowledge that you're coming over with, what I'd like to know is that who else on the other side could use this as being detrimental to me? What position do they fall into the society? Because I don't believe that it's the average man on the street that's begging me for change. Is it the people in government? Is it the people in business? What aspect do they fall into?
Could you explain? I don't really understand your question.
What I'm trying to say is that if you've got certain information, yeah, and you're coming over with the information, yeah, and I'm sitting down there and I'm listening to it and I believe it, yeah. Who else knows what you're saying already?
Oh, listen, you know, the United Nations, the government of the world, knows what I'm saying already. You see, how the system works, okay? If there is a law that is passed, if there is something in the constitution of whatever government, in whatever country you live in, if there is a particular article or particular law which they want to enforce and they want everyone to know about, trust me, they'll tell you. Now, if there's something which is beneficial to you, which is in the law, they're not going to tell you. You see what I'm saying? That is how they work. If they know that you can benefit from something, they're not going to tell the average man on the street. Okay? That is left down to those who investigate and do the research. So the answer to your question is that it's out there. A lot of people know about it. Those who research know about it. But it's not just about knowing, it's about doing. Okay? So no one can really use this against us. They know they cannot use it against us. And the reason why they can't use it against us is because it was Moors, okay, us, who helped to put the laws of these countries together. Because we were here first, they came and mixed in with us, okay? And we helped them to put together their law. And in their laws, we had already put in articles that if someone is indigenous, if someone was already there, then they have rights to that land. They have rights to practice their own culture without being persecuted. Yeah? Do you understand that?
I understand it, man. Fully. I'd like to say that also, I mean, the level that you're coming over with is like deep, and I just wish you guys the best, man. You know, I just wish it was, yeah. I
just wish what, sorry?
What you said to me, brother.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, and you know what? I wish you the best, and I wish, and I know, and I hope that you will go to some of the classes and take this further. Honestly, because you know, it's really we're here for the people. I'm not here for me. I'm not here for my brother. I'm here for we're here as a united Nuwaubian nation. You know, the idea, like the brother earlier on was saying, you know, what can he do, you know, to start reclaiming land? Well, you know, the fact of the matter is that it's already started. What we're talking about is already happening. We're not going to be up here giving it the big one, and we know that we're gazing. It's actually happening. Things are actually working. What we need now is people who are ready to help make it a reality, okay, and to help expand, and to help the growth, okay, the rapid growth of what is happening right now, okay. So all we need is we just need for our sakes and for your own sakes, to actually get up and declare and say, well, we are Moors, okay, because we all need to do it. Our teacher doesn't want us to punk out on him when the time comes for us to stand up and say that we are Moors.
Can I ask you one question?
Yeah, sure you can. Go ahead.
You're talking about Moors, yeah?
Yeah.
And you're talking to a complete novice, yeah?
Okay.
Who knows absolutely zero about these things, but a person who wants to learn. Now, could you recommend something for me to read about the Moors? Because I don't... It's something that I've heard people talk about it on news, not I've heard people talk about this. All the class 1 people talking about Moors, this and Moors, but yeah?
I'll be totally honest with you. I was a novice when it came to Moors, and if you go to the Holy Tabernacle Ministry store next to the Brixton Recreation Centre,
I know the place, I know.
Go in there and get a book called Let's Set the Record Straight, and that book will give you an in-depth breakdown about the Moors, about the history of the Moors, about us as a nation, and about what is relevant to you. It's not just going to give you a whole bunch of history and a whole bunch of dates that mean nothing. It's actually going to make it make sense for you. It's something that everyone needs to read, because it's written for us to understand it. It's written in a way that we can understand and that we can grasp it easily, and then we can then actually do something about it. Yeah, so that is the number one book I recommend.
Yes,
yeah?
sir. Thank you very much, man.
Okay, no problem.
Appreciate it for the match,
You take care, blood.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay, enough respect for your call. Telephone number in the studio is 0374 231 658. If you want to talk to the brothers in the studio and hook up live on Genesis, that's 0374 231 658. Okay, we're going to take this call. Turn on the radio. Hello, caller? Hello, caller? Hello, caller? You're live on Genesis. Hello, caller? Don't be shy, talk. Alright. Talk, I'm cutting you off, man. You're a bit too late. Okay, telephone number 0374 231 658 gets you live across the ear on Genesis, okay? Yeah, brother. So, I could hear with like the previous caller before, the one that was cutting you and not letting you answer the question. Speaking about Africa and like wanting it to be Ethiopia and Shashamali, why not there?
Okay, it's not so much a matter of that there's a reason why not there, but why not America? Why does it have to be Africa? The whole point we're making is that you've been taught that you're limited. You're limited to a particular area. You've been taught that you come from a particular area, but you don't. We actually are in...
I think it's cool. Go on, caller, you're live across the capital. What's your name and what's your question?
Yeah, man, it's Chris.
Go on.
Yeah, just one little thing to say, right? Because I understand that we come from all over the world. I never said that we come from just Africa. Right? I totally agree that our remains are all over this world. right? Our temples, our monuments, if that's what you want to call them,
Okay.
right, are all over this planet, right?
But let me pause you a minute, right? Because you see the information that I heard tonight, a lot of this information was new to me, okay? And when I listened to your line of questioning and where you was coming from, it's like as if to say, when the brothers then touch and answer your question, you cut them and then you come in with something else, you don't give them a chance to get nowhere. Why is that? What's touching the soul there? Why is it?
Right, maybe I'm being too hasty. Maybe I should more, right? All I'm trying to ask now, right, because he said that word, if Africa was a promised land, why did the white man leave from Europe and go to America? But
no, bruv, he never said no promised land, you know, bruv.
No, well, if Africa was the, whatever he referred to it as being, he said, why did the white man leave from Europe then and go to America?
Yeah, you know, listen to the voice good, London City, man. Listen to the voice good. If you know who this person is, when we open up the live link, let us know. Because, you know, I didn't understand how backward somebody could be to hear that information, then chat this kind of nonsense. And still want to chat nonsense. But listen, you're going to listen and continue. Because, look, anyway, I can't be 100%. As we move, one type mention about the London town.
Yeah, you did say something like that?
Yeah, something like that, but yeah, go on.
Alright, so what I would like to say, right, is why is it then, what I would like to say is that the white man, he was looking for something better when he left Europe, right? And he went to America and he found something better, but only for a matter of time. He's got more of what everybody else has got, because what they've got in America, they've got in England, but they've only got more of it, right? But the only thing is, for him to be better than anywhere else in the world, he's got to be nuclear, right? Everyone's realised that to be better in this world, you've got to be nuclear. Now, to be nuclear, you've got to go to Africa. I'm not saying that you've got to go to Africa.
That's your opinion,
but let's go to Georgia then, right? And then from Georgia, focus on Africa, so we can be nuclear too.
Okay, you know what? All of that is fine and well. I can totally respect your points, but we are a realistic organization. As a fraternity, we think, we talk, and we do in real terms. And I'm saying to you that a Nubian organization, which encompasses all other races as well, so it's not racist, has got land, has started a culture, and has started a nation in Georgia. Okay? Now, it is a very sad day and time when another person, part of that nation, is going to knock it. If someone wants to go and do something in Ethiopia, go ahead. I would be, you know what?
No,
you are part of, you're part of it. Everyone's part of it. It's open to the world. It's not, we're not separatist in any respect.
Yeah.
My point is that it's being done. If it doesn't matter where it's being done, then what's the problem? If someone wants to go to Africa and start that, it's all good. They can go and do that. My point is that it's already begun in America. It's already begun in America, and it shouldn't matter where it begins because we, the whole planet belongs to us. So why not put our energies and our resources into something which our own people have started, other than knocking it? Every time one of our own people get up and do something, we're quick to knock it. We're quick to knock it down big time. And it doesn't make sense to me because it's done by us, for us. It's not something, no one can turn around and say, well, what we're doing is detrimental to our people, because if anyone has spoken to anyone who has touched the Holy Tabernacle Ministries or the UNNM, who has read our teachers' books, Nehemiah L, or has been to our classes, know that we have the most exclusive information on the planet, and no one can say that's bad. We are the only black organization that has got nothing against Europeans. We're the only Nubian organization that has got nothing against homosexuals. We open our arms to everyone because judge not and you shall not be judged. You see what I'm saying? That is what we're dealing with. And for anyone, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as the nation is concerned, to come and knock that, fine. But if that's what you want to do, then that's all fine and well. But as we used to say in the past, we're just doing our own thing, and we just want to be left alone to do our own stuff. If people want to join us, that's fine. We're not begging no one to come and be a part of us, because That it's not about that. Many are called, but few are chosen. We're here for the elite few, and it's only the elite few who will take to this. It's not going to be for everyone. Now, I'm not saying that it's not for you. I'm not saying that because you have a right to question, just as I questioned, just as many other people questioned. And again, I'll reiterate, if someone wants to go and start something, you know, how many, you know, when are we going to wait till? Are we going to wait till, you know, are we going to wait till earthquakes start happening? Are we going to wait till the plates start rising and falling? Are we going to wait till, you know, till the polar ice caps start melting and plates start flooding? What are we going to wait for? You know what I mean? Black people, we have to start waking up, and not just wake up, get up. You wake up, then you get up, then you do something. And that's
why are you talking about black people? Nubians are everybody. Nubians
are black people, okay?
But why did you say that Nubians are everybody then?
Moors are everybody. There's a difference, bro. There's a difference. Words have meaning. Nubian comes from Nuba, meaning an inclination to black or brown, and that is denoting people of color. However, Moors is everyone. Moors encompasses our whole nation. Nuwaubian Moors encompasses everybody. You know, we don't discriminate.
Why do we invent terms to encompass everybody when we are ourselves? I mean, if we're going to talk about, I'm not knocking you for talking about other black people, right?
Yeah, that's
or Nubians, but like, alright then, speaking as black people then, right? Speaking as black people.
Yeah.
What I'd like to know, right? I'd like to know, what is it, right? That, why can't we black people talk about how we can feed ourselves, clothe ourselves, shelter ourselves adequately, and be a proper nation? Why are we talking about, like, Georgia and even... I grew up this morning,
you know what?
because you were talking about Poland, and I just wanted to do a comparison. Well, I wasn't trying to... I am a bit controversial. I know. Right, but all I'm trying to say, right...
Did you hear that? He's controversial. He's pathetic, man. But he thinks it's controversial. Wake up, brother. Wake up. Remember, listen keenly, you know. We'll be opening up the live link afterwards. Just listen keenly.
Why can't we, like, I mean, is this a thing of salvation, this Nubian Moorish thing?
Yeah, it is. It is. You knocked the nail on the head. It is a thing about salvation, and all the things you just talked about. We have to feed ourselves, clothe ourselves. You know, we're doing it already. That is.
How many people are doing it in Georgia? How many Africans or how many Nubians or blacks then do you have in this place that you're talking about as the Golden City in Georgia doing this work?
Hundreds and thousands.
Hundreds and thousands.
Yeah, we broke it apart.
We've got hundreds and thousands of millions in Africa doing the same thing. Don't you think that we should do it from where the masses of our people are, black people?
You know what I suggest, bro? Go to Africa and set something up.
Alright, well, I think that's what I've been trying to do for the past few years, and I've really accomplished it. I hope you will join me on the journey anyway. One love, and good luck to you in Georgia. Alright, one love.
I'll tell you something.
Respect.
Okay, you cut off. One thing the brother said earlier on was that we're coming with a Europeanized, you know, he said, oh, well, that's from a European perspective, isn't it? Let me just make one thing clear. Our teacher was born in what is known as Africa. He was born in Sudan. That is his native tongue is Arabic. He studied there. That is his homeland. Okay, so he's being referred to as the greatest scholar on the planet Earth. Now, wise men have said, judge a tree by the fruit that it bears. Our teacher has written hundreds upon hundreds of books for us. He's translated the Torah, he's translated the Injil, which is Revelations, he's translated the Quran, he's translated the Psalms, he's done the book for the Moorish Science Temple, he's done the book for the 5 Percenters, he's given us our own holy book, the Holy Tablet. He's done all of this for us, and I would simply like to know who can test this man in this day and time.
No, that's nobody. Go ahead, caller, you're live on Genesis, and have you got a question for the brothers?
Yes, hello, good evening, brothers. Yeah, I'm coming from Sydney. My name is Northern. And I've been listening to what you guys have been talking about this evening. It's a very interesting topic so far. I should get a bit heated up. But anyway, now what I would like to say, first of all, the concept that these guys are dealing with, because so far as I've heard, has been one of the most realistic ones I've been waiting to hear for a very, very long time. Reason being that if we have to approach any problem in this world, we have to take realistic view.
Okay. Feedback time. Interactive. OG.
Okay, London Town, you've heard the tape there. Okay, London Town, and that mystery voice. Okay, London Town.
But before we go to the mystery voice, OG, what did you think of that information there? Remember, I know that you ain't heard this before and you wanted to hear it, so we've done this tonight. So I done for your benefit, you know what I mean? So go ahead.
I think it's top class information, Minister Rebel. Top class information. Honestly. You see what I'm saying, bro? Okay, now London Town, we want to hear what you have to say. Okay, London Town. Anyway, London Town, the live number is 0956271-782, Maybe the brother Curtis will phone in. You never know, Minister. But we know who you are, Curtis, anyway. You know what I'm saying? But we're not going to call no names. after Minister just degraded, you know what I mean? Well, I call him this, yeah? All right. Anyway, Black Spiritual Metaphysical Regeneration Show. We're playing the tape on the True Light Show, live question and answer session where the minister invited the brothers from the Holy Tabernacle Ministries, Harden, to come in London Town and break down some information, yeah? Okay, London Town, now, what do you say, okay, London Town? What we're going to do, yeah, we're going to play a little jingle, London Town, and we'll most definitely catch you back up on the other side, yeah? All right. Minister, you want to say something quickly?
All right, grab a pen and a piece of paper, take down the live rig number 0956 271782. That's the live link number. If you would like to talk to us off here, 0374 231 658. We have the driver in the house, also, you know, he's going to helping us man the phones. That's 0374 231 658. What did you think of that? Now you've got time to sit back, relax, and listen. You know, don't worry about the stupid caller, because that's neither here nor there. But the actual information that was you heard just then, I mean, if you heard it for the first time, if that touched the divine in you, or if you disagree with the information, like our brother Curtis, you know, let us know. 0956 271 782. Here we go.
Okay, Minister, you know what, G, yeah? Before we even go into anything, remember last week I played the True Light Show tape. Remember the demon, remember the demon white man that phoned in, yeah? And he was saying, the devil, this son, and he admitted that he was the son of Satan. And that, yeah, what do you have to say to him if he wants to call in?
Also, you know, at the time, I didn't realize that the brother said he was a demon because I took a call on my other phone. So I missed that part, you know. So I'd like to talk to him again, you know. And what we might do, we might play a little bit of that conversation and then, like, ask him to call in also, you know, because he's saying that he's a demon. He's not of no, like, race or gender. He's a demon, a servant of Satan. And I really want to know, you know, I really want to rap with him, because I've got some questions for him, all right? So the demon, if you're out there in London City, you give us a call. And also the Curtis, if you're out there, give us a call. Or if anybody knows who Curtis is, give us a call. We can run a competition. I can give you 2 True Light tapes, okay? And so what are you saying, OG? For us on Regeneration tapes?
For us on Regeneration Show. You tell us who the person sounds like, yeah. Or I'll tell you what, you can call Minister on these numbers still, yeah, if you don't want to go live in it. But, you know, anyway, another time, live at number 09566 271, sorry, 09566 271 782 London Town if you want to get through to the live link here. Well, you know, so the show's soon done at the top of the hour, yeah. We're joined by the RB London Town, so, you know, let's do another day, yeah. I'm going to play the Kajingi and I'll catch the brothers up and sisters up on the other side, yeah, all right. Okay, London Town, back on the other side, London Town. Now, you know, say, this is your time, London Town, to phone in here and give your input, yeah, and what so far, what you've heard. Maybe to you, it might not mean nothing to you, to be cutting this in, but you know, you're entitled to phone through and put your view. You may even think, yeah, none of it don't make no sense, yeah? Phone in and say something about it, yeah? Don't just sit down into your house by yourself and just or talk to your brethren, yeah. Just come live, yeah. Live at number 0956 6271 782, yeah. 0956 271 782. Okay. Minister, you want to say something quickly?
Yeah, I'd really like to know what you thought of the information you heard, or that the brothers broke down, okay, pertaining to you've been called Moors and your indigenous rights throughout the planet, okay. Live link number in the studio, don't feel shy, 0956 271 782. It's that caller that called before at the phone. At least give us a sound check. It's 0956 271 782. Okay? All right. If Curtis, if you're out there and you want to phone in and restate your case, you can do so also. We have the driver in the house, OG Briggy in the house, and myself, the Minister Rebel. It's approaching 25 minutes past the hours of 12, and we're just rolling live for the last 35 minutes. Okay? OG.
Wait a minute, sometimes it's hard for this. Well, I'm letting that turn up, man, and the questions. Okay, big old, supposed to be black or Nubian, black UK, and no one ain't throwing up with no questions to ask. Wow. For real. Yeah, London Town, what, come on, I've heard enough different ideas of how black man's supposed to own this land and that land and da. Come on, where's all the other brothers and sisters out there with different versions or your own breakdown of what's going on? Come phone through and say something.
I mean, you've got leaders like Farrakhan, demands in land either in America or in Africa, and it's basically done already, and also the idea implanted, okay, in your brains that you can now do that anywhere on the planet Earth if you so wish to, okay? So it goes beyond, it's just exclusive to the United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors. It's for everybody, okay? So, I don't know, I've heard other theories and other leaders and people talking about this and talking about that with no salvation and don't know where to take us. Some complete madness. We'll break it down later on in the year, that's for sure. So we can go live. 0956 271 782. Why wasn't this taught in the religious schools? Why wasn't this taught in the churches? Why has this information just been revealed to us by the master teacher, Dr. Malachi Zadok Ella, okay? Supreme Grand Master, God in the flesh on the planet Earth. Why is it just now?
Okay, mister, we've got a live link. We'll take this live link, yeah? Hello, Genesis Radio.
Yo, please, Mikey.
Yo, Mike, how you doing, man?
Safe, man. Been listening to the show. It's all good. It's all good, man. Looks like no one wants to phone up before. Let me give you a sound check still. It's all good.
For real. So what do you think about the information, Mikey?
Well, you know I stay already, man. You know I stay.
Come on, how's that then, G? Come.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Wake up.
Okay, G. So what about a word to the newcomers then, listening and everything like that?
I think that, it took me a good while to grasp it as well. And probably you have to do research into it and see what's going on, because when you just hear it for the first time on air, you think, yeah, right, here we go again. But when you start doing your own research and stuff into it and read the books and the scrolls that the teacher puts out, I mean, it's all good, man. It's there.
Okay then, Mikey. Enough respect for your call still, G, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Hopefully,
Just link me up when you're ready, sir.
Wait, hey, Mikey. Did you recognize that voice there? Huh?
What is that, Curtis or Colin?
The brother called Curtis.
Yeah, I know who that is, man.
You know that is? Alright then.
What's it say, dude?
Huh? Call that his name.
No. But what do you want me to do?
Huh?
What do you want me to do?
You know we can't do it in the studio, G.
Nah, man.
Alright then.
I can't do it, man. It can't be someone from the crew doing it, man. It could be someone else doing that, man.
Alright then, G. Enough respect, yeah?
Peace.
Yeah, peace. Okay, London Town, no fancy jingles tonight. Just raw for the last 30 minutes now. Come on, jeez.
Live link number is 0956-271-782. Okay, so Mercury's nice and cheap. That's 0956-27-17-82. Okay? All right. You know, we'd like to hear your opinion, you know. Come on, you must have something to say. You say you hear that for the first time, you've got nothing to say, or are you just feeling shy? Come on, where's Brave Curtis? Phone in, bro. And to the rest of the London City, none of us white here. It's all good. We're all in this together. OG.
Boy, Minister, like London Times just don't have nothing to say. Lately, they've not been having nothing really much to say. You know what I mean? Yeah, lately London Town, you know what I mean? We know white girl for real though. Yeah, so driver's gonna say, driver welcome.
Listen, London Town, seriously, personally I think you're having a laugh. Because here what, right now, you know things are getting serious. And we've definitely got to start stepping up and putting ourselves out there and letting people know that here what, we want to do something. We want to know what's going on, what we can do so that we can actually move forward. If the state of mind that you're in, you're satisfied with it, then, you know, that's okay. But, you know, personally, there's a lot of people out there. As you listen to the tape, the most of the callers that you heard there was from the younger youth. And, you know, they're asking, what can we do? You know, they seriously, you know, they've had everything else, so they want to know, what can we do now? We lost that caller, yeah? All right. Okay, like I was saying, you know, you heard the youth on the phone, he was saying, you know, he's interested. What can he wants to know which direction to go, because if you notice, the younger generation, everything that we've taken X amount, like 20, 25, 30 years to go through and experience, they're experiencing it in the space of 10, 15, 16, 17 years. So by the time when they come to the end of that, they turn around and say, well, you know, what direction do we go from here? You know, what's out there for us? That's right. They don't see none of us out there, so they're trying to go out there and look for a direction themselves. But if you've got a point on that, 0956-271-782. Once again, 0956-271-782. Whoa, boy. I ain't into the repatriation anyway.
No, because that's been happening a long time and nobody ain't gone yet. You know, yeah, something like that. Okay, live link number 0956-271-782. Okay, don't be shy. Oh,
you know what will get them going if we started turning around now and just slandering the Bible and everything. That will get the phone popping. They'll talk about Jesus and God and heaven and all them kind of thing there. Okay, you know, London Town we do it raw and everything. I'm talking about Jerry Springer show. Boy, listen to Jerry Springer. At least Jerry Springer get people phone up, even ask questions. Not the one wrong from we. Okay, London Town. Anyway, Black Spiritual Mental Physical Regeneration Show. OG Briggy in the camp alongside the Minister Rebel, also the driver London Town. One I say. And I say nothing. If you ain't saying nothing, G, boy, we ain't into no long talk business neither, right? I'll tell you what we do. Run the demon tape. The tape when the demon come on the air. Alright, London Town, here's what we're going to do for you. We're going to run a tape here when the demon came on the air, yeah? Some demon, a couple of demons phoned up at this night here, yeah? I played some of the tape last week, but we're going to just rerun a little bit now, yeah? Just so you can hear what's going on, yeah? Okay, catch up in a little while.
Okay. Yeah, now, here what you do. Hold on a sec. Yeah, no, that one, yeah.
Don't have no mutual respect.
Okay.
So that's what I've got to say, really.
Yeah, man. Thanks very much for the call. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Bryant. I live in North Woolwich.
Okay, you keep locked to the True Light Show, the Regeneration Show. Keep Genesis period.
Brother, good night.
Maximum respect, Brian.
Take it easy.
Okay, and yourself.
Right.
Remember the thanks very much. Shalom, Brian.
Guidance.
Peace.
Yeah.
Live link number in the studio, 0956-271-782. We're going to take this call. Go ahead, caller, you're live on Genesis. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, you're live on Genesis?
Is this the radio program?
Sorry?
Is this the radio program?
I think so, sir.
I hope you have read your Leviticus.
Leviticus?
Yes.
Okay, what about Leviticus?
If you have read your Leviticus, you will know that when a woman gives birth unto a child, she must, by God's command, present a lamb slaughtered to the priest's door.
Okay. Yeah. What's that all about? How's that fitting, mate?
It is a law of God.
Which God?
The God that is the King of kings and rules in heaven and earth.
What goes by what name? What's his name?
His name is Jehovah.
Okay, that one. The jealous one. Yeah, go on, we're going to take this call. Go ahead, caller, you're live on Genesis. You're speaking to Minister.
The brother was saying before.
Which brother?
You know, the one tape you played.
The one just now, or the one prior to that?
The one prior.
Oh, Curtis from East London.
Yeah, and the brothers from Tabernacle from Harsden.
Okay, you missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, bruv. You know, it's not even meant to be on tonight. This is the Regeneration Show, and like, because OG didn't hear the tape, you know, we said, all right, let's play it for everybody tonight, and that's what's basically happened. But if you lock into my show, I'll be playing it in a couple of weeks' time, the whole complete thing. All right?
So what they say? What are they saying?
Well, basically, they just was breaking down our indigenous rights as Moors on the planet Earth. No matter where we are indigenous to that part, you know, and not just Africa, but also in America. Being that before the continental drift, they walked over to the land, and then the land separated, and there was Nubians on America and on Africa. So the whole thing is basically ours, because the Earth was once like one landmass.
So what? If I get the information, what books can I read?
Yeah, there, a book called Set the Record Straight, okay, by the master teacher. Also, the Constitution, you can read that. Or just attend the review of the classes, and there's many tapes out as well. There's a Saviour's Day Part 1 to 6 out at the bookstores around and about the capital. That will break it down even further, and you'll be able to see Dr. York live.
Where's it going to be?
On the videos, you know. There's Saviour's Day Part 1 to 6. We can actually see the pyramids, and also listen to the class that Dr. York gave out there June 26th. Last year.
Alright, then safe here.
And then we'll go into that more in depth on the videos, and also set the record straight. Let's set the record straight, okay?
Yeah.
Alright, you know where the bookstores are around and about the capital?
No, could you tell me?
Alright, the main bookstores at 25 Brixton Station Road.
25 Brixton Station Road?
Yeah, that's underneath the Recreation Centre.
Yeah.
Alright, and then they're open from 9 till 9, and you pop along there, and the brothers are there, glad to help you with any information that you want to know. Also, they can refer you to the question and answer classes also.
Alright.
Okay, bro?
Yeah, man.
Enough respect for your call, man. Peace, man. Okay, London City. 0956 271 782. Okay, or we're going to continue with the demon, alright? And you can tell me what you think of the demon afterwards. Yeah, just rewind it a little bit, and then you have to forward it. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Alright, and we're just doing it raw.
Present a lamb.
Okay.
Slaughtered.
We're gonna come again some more. Alright, it's the demon. If you're out there, because I didn't know you was a demon. If you listen to the tape, it was when I took a call off air. You said it, you know. So I didn't know. So call back now so I can talk to you. Thanks very much for the call. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Bryant. I live in North Woolwich.
Okay, you keep locked to the True Light Show, the Regeneration Show. Keep it locked to Genesis, period.
Brother, good night.
Maximum respect, Brian.
Take it easy.
Okay, and yourself. Remember the... Thanks very much. Shalom, Brian.
Guidance.
Peace.
Yeah.
Live link number in the studio, 0956 271 782. We're going to take this call. Go ahead, caller. You're live on Genesis. Hello.
Hello?
Hello. You're live on Genesis.
Is this the radio program?
Sorry.
Is this the radio program?
I think so, sir.
I hope you have read your Leviticus.
Leviticus?
Yes.
Okay. What about Leviticus?
If you have read your Leviticus,
Uh-huh.
you will know that when a woman gives birth unto a child, she must, by God's command, present a lamb slaughtered to the priest's door.
Okay. Yeah. What's that all about? How's that fitting, mate?
It is a law of God.
Which God?
The God that is the King of kings and rules in heaven and earth.
What goes by what name? Which one? What's his name?
His name is Jehovah.
Okay, that one. That one, the jealous one.
The God.
The one that gave you the commandment, thou shalt not have no other God beside me because I'm a jealous God. That one. The jealous God.
The jealous God.
Yeah.
He is a jealous God.
Okay. That's your God? That's not my one. That's not my one. And what I want to know, my people to know, is that's not their God neither. That's the God that we were given. It wasn't our God. You know, if I tell you that God was, then you may be thinking that I'm blaspheming or something. But what you got to check out is that it was an angel of the Lord that appeared in a burning bush. Okay? And it was, that's who appeared in. Bring it to this, brother, man. Let me take this call.
Shall I tell you something?
No, wait, mate. Go on, mate. Tell us about your God. Go on. Tell us about Jehovah.
How Satan fell from heaven?
Okay. Sorry, brother. We're not being funny or anything, but you sound like a Caucasian. You're a Caucasian, brother, yeah? Yeah.
I am neither Caucasian nor of any other.
It doesn't matter what you are. Then, go on then.
I am a demon, a servant of Satan.
You're what? You're a demon, you said. What did you say he was?
I advise you to take my counsel seriously.
Listen.
Much truth is said in jest.
Yeah? So break down some truth then.
Do you know how my God fell from heaven?
Your God, break it down for us, please. How did he do it?
He was sitting with God one day before the world was made.
Okay.
Being as good as his creator. When it chanced upon his mind to commit a trifling sin.
Right, okay.
Whereupon he did so. And he said, I could get used to this.
All right.
And his disciples, many of whom do not believe he exists, have you amongst their number.
Sorry? Me?
Yes.
Me?
You are the violator of Leviticus.
Right. Well, hear what I'm saying to you. See? You see your God, I'm telling you straight, your God is the devil. You know why? He's a jealous angel of the Lord that appeared to Moses as fire, and he's a demon. Okay? It's as simple as that. Your God is the devil. And that's what I want you to know.
The man is hey, listen. You still on the line? He's gone. Listen, man, your God's the punk. Your God's the skunk punk. Anyway, Genesis 91.6 on your FM dial. OG bringing the ass alongside the minister, alongside the bags okay and the dream okay. Live.
Okay, London. See, what did you think of that? Do you think that was an authentic demon, servant of Satan, who wasn't a Caucasian or nothing? All right. Remember, he was asked if he was a Caucasian. He said he's not a Caucasian. He's nothing. A demon, a servant of Satan. Do you listen to his voice? No emotion in the voice. Do you think that was an authentic demon? All right. And note also his knowledge of knowing that the devil was the Jehovah of the Bible. He knew that. You get me? He knew that. And he would know that. The devil worshipper would know that because they use that same book that so many people think is so righteous and good. But it's very, very holy. Okay, they use that same book to do their stuff. And that's what he's talking about in Leviticus, which I should have clicked on to at the time, where they have the blood sacrifices throughout Leviticus, and they use that in some of their rituals and so on and so forth. I should have clocked on at the time, but I didn't because I was disturbed by a phone call. All right, but if the demon would like to phone back now, we can definitely talk on the 916 live link number. Or if there's any other demons out there, or you know, if you didn't think it was a demon, you think it was somebody having a laugh, you know, you can also call. If you think it was a demon, call as well. 0956 271 782. That's 0956 27 17 82. OG Briggy.
Boy, Minister, I just want to hear what London Town has to say, or someone has to say, yeah? Anyway, what we're going to do, we're going to keep on rolling with the tape, London Town, yeah? And, you know, RB's coming at the top of the hour, so, you know, if anything you got to say, London Town, you know, you just got to say it later, yeah.
0956
phone in, yeah? All right.
Live, no,
0956
271 782. Come on. Okay, we got a call, Minister, yeah? Hello, Genesis number 1 on the FM dial, body station of the world. Walk on.
Yes, Genesis, I run already, yeah, but man, let me get jumpy and sort of cut me off like.
Who?
I run up about A last year not too long ago.
Okay, go on then.
All right, I just want to throw a bit more light on this subject here.
Okay.
I cannot take the nonsense that this guy was talking again, and I won't subject London to that again. Okay. All right, we're going to go further on down the tape. All right, OG Briggy will pick it up. This brother actually phoned me up and apologized, you know what I mean? So I should really forgive him, and I have, you know, because he's my brother, and you can get emotional, especially when we're talking about what built your morals and what you think God is and life is and what things are about in your own head. Remember, they only exist in your head, and you have to look what's in the reality. Looking into the reality means you've got to wake up and become aware. Okay?
Me?
All right. No, that's the same one, though. Yeah, you got to play it the other way. We're going raw here, yeah? Like I said, you've got to wake up into reality, is to become aware, you know, and just wake up, man.
You understand? So what I'm saying.
All right. We're going to rewind this. I must admit, this brother has apologized to me. I know he was heated at the time, but, you know, he has to realize what he's admitting when he apologizes and then put down his nonsense, like everybody else. Because, you know, we're taking it back, and we're going to roll. All right, if you want to go in live, 0956 271 782. Okay, that's 0956 271 782. All right, and Driver wants me to remind London City that this is what can happen when you get emotional and the stuff you can come out with, which the brother did apologize for. Okay? We're just waiting for the OG to cue up things.
Disciples, many of whom do not believe.
Okay. All right. And if you want to go live, telephone number in the studio, 0956 27 17 82 gets you live. If you want to talk off air, 0374 231 658. Okay, you can tell me what you thought of the information you heard of the brothers breaking down the information from Halsden, the United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors, or we can move on to the identity of Curtis, or who Curtis is, or we can move on to what do you think of this demon. Yeah, all right, we're going to take it from there, or who this demon is. Let's go.
You know, which is the first language, it's coming from the source, so...
Which would be a Babylonian, I think, is it?
No, it would be Sumerian and Egyptian.
All right. Okay, we're just going raw in the studio, all right? 0956 27 17 82 gets you live across the capital, all right? What did you think of the information you heard before?
Okay, telephone number to the studio, 0956 271 782. Don't be shy, give us a call and let me know how you're feeling out there. Okay, we're the same backs. Yeah, I mean, what do you feel think of the call so far and what the public is saying? They're... Okay, we're going to take this call. Yeah, go ahead, caller, you're live on Genesis.
Hello there.
Hello.
Right. Minister Rebel, is you whom we want to talk to?
Yeah, I'm here.
Right. there was a, you said a Caucasian broke that call in here. So he belongs to the pagan religion.
Sorry?
You remember the fellow who called and said he belongs to the pagan religion, eh? He's a pagan, yeah?
The what? Which guy was that?
Some fellow called and said he belongs to the pagan religion. Remember him?
The devil worshiper, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody said that was the devil himself, but yeah, what about him?
But he was saying that you have some kind of connection, ain't he?
Sorry?
He was saying you have some kind of connection with the devil in this time.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, you know. I don't know about that, but I leave that to the people to decide for themselves, because people could hear the teachings of the Holy Tabernacle Ministries, and you know, even the dreads them on Sunday was saying that Holy Tabernacle Ministries is the Antichrist, and this is the only organization offering a solution out of the New World Order, the only one.
Yeah, but I understand that, look, when a fella said, or the dreads say on Sunday that you're a kind of Antichrist, yeah? Because you speak against their God, you speak against Haile Selassie. And anybody that speaks against Haile Selassie is seen as an Antichrist.
Yeah, that's right. But you see, that's their opinion. But if you look into the books, right, at the end of the day, Jesus said, and this is how you know who Antichrists are, that many shall come in my name. So now you see anybody coming in the name of Jesus Christ, watch out for them, because Selassie go under that, and anybody saying they're Jesus, that all of them, every single one of them go under that. So everybody's saying Jesus is coming back. So many shall come in my name. What's the name? Jesus Christ. That weren't even his name. So anybody popping up and say, yeah, Jesus Christ. That's Antichrist. Because he was the Messiah Yeshua, and it was a mere title, not a name.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you now, yeah, I listen to many comments from all different kind of people.
So do I.
Right? And the truth is there for who got eyes to see, will see, and not, spiritual eyes. And there's a lot of people on this earth today that practice spiritualism.
Yeah, what do you mean? What do you mean? Beyond witchcraft?
My friend, listen to me carefully. You got the word and you got the flesh.
Uh-huh.
You got the word and you got the flesh. Right? The word and the flesh is one. So everybody that say anything manifests by thought, word, and deed. Yeah. Thought, word, and deed. So, right? Thought, word, and deed never change. Now, I know a lot of people is confused today about God and about Jesus and Allah and all them different.
Yeah. What perspective are you coming from?
Where I'm coming from, I'm telling you that what that pagan bloke said tonight, it definitely have a connection to you.
Oh, right, I see.
You understand what I'm saying?
I'll see why he's saying that. In what way? Could you explain that?
He's saying that because he's feeling a spiritual vibe connect to you with all of this religious halabaloo.
Okay, right.
You understand? So what I'm saying to you, these things that happen on Genesis today is educational for people.
Yeah.
Right, because these are natural times that we're living in.
And his disciples, many of whom did not believe he existed.
And the devil would be upset with this. Is anybody upset with this? I know, because I get calls from people and they say, whoa, I knew this in myself all the time. I just didn't have the words. And,
but
now you're telling me that this could be something bad?
No, what I'm telling you, that your spirit, your soul is definitely connected to the devil. That's what I'm telling you.
You're saying that?
I'm telling you because I know, because I'm telling you that I know that Selassie is God Almighty. He's the God that is going to judge everybody upon the face of the earth.
Right. You're fanatic. I hear what you're saying now.
And Minister Rebel, let me tell you something.
You're a fanatic, man.
No, I'm not a fanatic, but I'm telling you that you are a blasphemer. I'm telling you that you are a fallen angel. Before that bloke phoned in, before he phoned in, yeah, before that white fella phoned in and talk about you connecting with the devil, I knew that.
That's your brethren, isn't it? The Caucasian brother.
Oh, no, I don't know him. I don't know him, but I'm just listening to the word because I'm saying to you, word, thought, and deed, and Selassie is going to judge you, and the people of London is going to know that you are going to get judged, Mr. Rebel.
Paranoid. We're all going to get judged.
As a black man,
listen,
is foolishness.
We're all going to get judged.
Let me tell you something.
You're going to get judged, but you see me, I'm
going
getting
to
judged by none of them punk gods.
You are going to receive a great beating from Selassie.
I am so scared of the little shoot, man. I'm so scared.
Rebel, you're going to get it, man. I'm telling you.
No.
You see?
It's just because you're scared.
Listen to me now. You listen to me. You hear what I say
You're
now, yeah?
Scared. You understand?
For the year 2000, you understand?
Scared.
Selassie is going to come. You're going to bow. Everybody have to bow to Selassie.
Yeah, man. You back to Selassie.
Minister Rebel, you are a blasted devil.
Telephone number. Live link number. 09.
Okay, London Town. Stop the tape there. We're going to stop the tape. We're going to stop the tape there. We want to hear Minister's thoughts here because 1998 now.
You know, like I said, the brother did phone me up around the time we had the birthday bash, me and, you know, Uncle Dero and the whole P. We had our birthday party, and he phoned me up after the New Year's bash and said, you know, I apologize. And I goes, what, you know, why are you apologizing? When he spoke, I recognized his voice. I'll never forget that. And basically, he apologized. You know, we spoke afterwards, and I haven't got him up, you know what I mean? But this is what could happen when you get emotional. And like in the essence in what he was saying, with Selassie coming back, remember according to the prophecies, let's forget about putting a face to the prophecies. But let's look at the prophecies. Remember it says like when Jesus died, or supposedly died, okay, let's go Christianity, all right? He dies and says that he's going to come back in the end, all right, for Revelation. Okay? When Selassie came back, okay, he didn't fulfill none of the things in Revelation. And he's gone. And what are you going to tell me? He's going to come back again? All I'd like to know, where it says that in the prophecies, number one. And to be a conquering, this is the word, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. Tell me what happened with Mussolini. Did Ethiopia beat Italy in the war? Not a chance. So he was a defeated emperor. Not a conquering nothing. This is just the truth. Simple things. And you got brothers from JA. Trust me, I like the brothers' voices. I like the way they sing. I like the sound of the notes of their voice. But basically the lyrics are just nonsense. And they're advocating this foolishness still to the people. And people out there buying the records and making money come from the Boba camp, which is nonsense. And nobody ain't going to address you. Come in here and you don't get addressed. Because that is just some foolishness that we don't need no more. And if you want to talk about it, we can do it now. Don't go phoning nobody else's show. Talk to me now. Because that is big time foolishness that Nubian people here need to stop dealing with. Okay, that's perishing. You can't prove that correcting nothing. It's not the truth. So you know all those dreads that want to sing about Selassie with their beautiful Nubian voices. Look, just change the lyrics. Change the lyrics. Louder nonsense, man. It never ever worked for us. There's no lightning and fire abundant. Where's the fire, man? Look, wake up, man. Wake up. All you're doing is taking the interpretation of some devil book and want to put your heart and soul in it. You even want to try and put Jesus with, I see paintings of Jesus with locks. And the fact is, he did not have no locks. And Selassie didn't have locks. So what's wrong? Which one is it? You want to put him in your image and in your likeness when your God was not in that image and after that likeness. And I see your pictures. And I hear what you have to say. Everybody's heard it for years. Shut up now. Hold you.
Woo! Yeah. Minister Rebel raw, live and direct in the flesh, uncut. Okay, London Town. Anyway, we have the RB in the house. RB's gone to get his phone. London Town basically. Well, London Town, hear what, yeah? RB's gone downstairs, yeah. If anyone's got anything to say, Minister's saying phone in. I'm saying phone in. Phone in. Okay? What did I do with the paper for the live number? 09562717782. Okay, live link. You may want to respond to what Minister has said there. Okay, feel free to do so. You may have something else to say. Okay, RB's back upstairs. Anyway, London Town. Yeah, he's back already. I could do that fashion. Okay. Anyway, the Black Spiritual Mental Physical Regeneration Show, Genesis 91.6 on your FM dial, working hard for the community every single time, yeah? Anyway, RB's back upstairs in the house here. I'm going to hand it over to the bad boy RB, yeah? Anyway, London Town, peace. Thanks for listening, yeah? And, Minister, you want to say good night, G?
Okay, we go unanswered, see? So I don't want to hear. You see, because you never step up tonight and say nothing. Don't bother. Because all the singing nonsense you want to sing, the lyrics are nonsense. I'm not saying the voice. The man, Luciana, Sizzlers, the man, the lyrics are just some Michael General. Come on, man, you come from here, man. Some kind of like some backward fool now. You understand? And tell them to say so. Because it's time for it to done. You know, wake up. Stop the nonsense. It's never got us anywhere. All the foolishness that come from their religions that they give us never taught us nothing about ourselves. Don't know nothing. Man, want to take it back. They want to go back. Take a little trot back. Let's stop at Islam. No, let's go further. Trot back. Let's go Christianity. No, let's go further back. Then you've got the Hebrew, Israelite, Hebrew. Look, let's move on. Egyptologist, Dr. Ben Punk need to come sit down in a class and taking some information from the master teacher and Dr. Clark and all those punks. Okay? All these fake, these Benjamin Carter need to come sit down in the class because they don't know nothing. Can't talk to a student of the United Nuwaubian Nations or more must stand up against the master teacher, little half-beat punks. People want to tell me about these dummies. They don't know nothing. Fools. Bunch of fools. We're going to go trot down to, let's go, Egyptology now. They're there. Who you got there? Anthony Browder and all them fools. Huh? Huh? Where are they? They can't come saying nothing. And none of those schools of thought saying nothing. Dead, perishing. The whole of them. And let's go further. When you go further, it's only white man sensible.